It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag NBA.
Peterson lobs. And the basket by Robinson. Going in the basket one time, but he has not made a field goal. Dybantsa, meanwhile, has 7 points for Washington. Ball swatted away on the drive by Watkins. Alexander has it swatted by Beekman. Shot clock at 4. Peterson has to hoist. And throws a three. First field goal.
Trimble just trying to be physical and get into Peterson and pressure.
Peterson. A runner swishes through. Pretty move.
Highlights as the Utah Jazz lose to the Washington Wizards in the Vegas Summer League. A.J. Dybantsa, 27 points. Darryn Peterson, 24. Neither of them shot the ball especially well. Did you see enough out of them, PK, or it's too much one-on-one, not enough team basketball? What'd you think?
Hey, Dybantsa is a big-time scorer. He has ways to get to the basket. He missed all 5 of his threes. He's not a three-point shooter, and I'm not going to panic because of that. Why does everybody need to be a three-point shooter? He can do things that very few people can do, and so that's going to make him a budding star. I think he'll get there. Peterson, I think he was pressing a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that, you look at the teams with Trey Johnson there for the Wizards, who was a high pick, and the Jazz didn't have Ace Bailey. They said he has some back thing or something, whatever it was. So I think it was harder for Darryn Peterson. And it's clear he's pressing, and he's going to have to grow into playing with the ball. He talked about after the game that he's having fun. He didn't have fun at Kansas. That thing was a disaster. They didn't like him. He didn't like them. It's like you guys and the Kansas City soccer team. You hate them. They hate you.
See, it's a Kansas thing, probably. Yeah. That's what it comes down to.
Well, it could be Kansas City, Missouri, though. I don't know where the soccer
But it's not.
plays.
The soccer is in Kansas.
Oh,
yeah.
I knew you would know because you're our soccer guy.
I've driven to it, so.
Oh, of course, yeah. And you've rolled on the ground and probably kissed the turf. You were so excited.
Neither of those things happen.
Soccer, dude. You love it. This is
nonetheless. I did not roll on the ground and kiss the
metaphorically.
grass.
You did, and you're disappointed
That's
that
possible.
You don't get to
metaphorically.
You don't get
maybe.
to travel like Locke does. We understand. You'd rather do that. So you sit here in the studio and they scored, and there's no atmosphere, and it bugs you. Come on, be truthful. Everybody knows it. I mean, I know it's true. I don't need you to tell me the truth. I already know the truth.
You just said be truthful, so I was truthful. I was just following orders. Don't contradict yourself.
The first time I do, you'll be the first one to know about it.
Well, when it happened, I did, yes, sir.
I'm still waiting. Let me know. So he wants to play with the ball, and the Jazz are going to have to figure that out. I don't think he's going to play with the ball the level of amount of time that he does here. So this is the Summer League, man. Get all your mistakes in right now. I got no problem with it.
That 10 fouls rule, I get it. They don't want guys to foul out. They put the Summer League together. What good does it do? But then at the same time, when they give them 10 fouls, you got guys using 9, and Peterson did. Makes the game pretty choppy. Both those guys got a lot of points at the line.
I don't think they should be fouling out anyway.
I know you don't think that, and I thought that watching the game.
I think that's a stupid rule that you got guys to be aggressive, and then they got to watch themselves. Oh, I can't be aggressive now. That's not, the fans don't want that. This is what the fans want. This is entertainment. That's why your sport there is not making any changes and why it lags far behind in the U.S.
Feel free to stop the clock. Feel free to stop the clock.
There's a million things they can do. Half an inch offside and you take away a goal. And there's not enough of them. And not to come down on your sport because I know it's near and dear to your heart. And like this one thing with the free throw, you want to shorten the game. Regular season, you got 1 minute to make a replay call. 1 minute. And if you can't make it in 1 minute, whatever the dope on the court called
is the call.
Yeah, and then the dopes on the court will take more ownership of the call instead of knowing that, well, we'll just go to Secaucus and everything will be fine and I'll keep my job. No, that's right. 1 minute in the regular season. Because especially during a weeknight, because once you get past 9:30, the whole goal is to get the game over with so I can go home and go to sleep and get up and go to work the next day. And they don't need all those calls in the last few minutes, every little thing going to the monitor. No.
Let's check and see who the ball went out of.
1 minute. That's it. And you'd shorten the game if that's such a big deal.
Clippers-Raptors trade. Oh, the next game's Sunday night. Amazon, 8 o'clock. Jazz will be back at it in Vegas. The Kawhi Leonard trade is on hold amid the probe. Did the Clippers funnel money through a third company and go around the salary cap? So until the NBA decides whatever it is they want to decide, that trade just on hold. So for the Raptors players who were traded, awesome. Limbo.
Oh, I don't think they'll negate the trade. They'll just find the Clippers, and then whatever suspension that Leonard faces, the Raptors will have to deal with it. So I don't think that's the point of it.
Then why put it on hold? Because that with both those
because
things,
they don't
it
have
can
the
go
penalties.
Through. Well, both those things, it can still go through.
What are both of those things?
The fine for the Clippers and the suspension for Kawhi and the Raptors.
Right. I think they wanted to make it known that, hey, this doesn't void what we were doing over here. I think that's why make it known.
Jordan Clarkson back to the Knicks. 1-year deal, $3.9 million. So he gets a ring and he gets another year in the NBA. Joe Mazzulla on the Jaylen Brown trade. We're going to have a different identity because Brown felt no loyalty. Don't usually see teams airing this kind of stuff after a trade, but this one's unusual. It's personal. I guess we can look forward to those Boston-Philly games. They'll have a little extra spice.
So now they'll have loyalty? Paul George is going to just bleed Celtic green? Is that it?
Paul George on his 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it his 15? I think it's his 15.
I don't know. You keep counting.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag college football.
What you can get is you can get a model that has proven to work for the last 100 years, the NFL model. I mean, they have collective bargaining. Everybody understands exactly what they're getting into. There's no lawsuits. There's no suing. There's no finding a judge that, is going to be sympathetic to your cause. There's none of that stuff. You have somebody that's in charge and somebody that says yes or no. And there's rules. And guess what? If you don't follow the rules, you get punished. What a novel idea. And again, the thing that we're teaching our players, and I hate this, is we're teaching our players, look, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. And is that really what we want to teach young people? If we could get to collective bargaining, the reason nobody wants to do it, I think, is because it's going to be expensive.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have insurance and you're going to have, 401ks and you're going to have all these things.
That's TCU coach Sonny Dykes. He'd like to bargain collectively. Northwestern players were trying to organize something a decade ago, and that got shot down. And since then, it's turned into the Wild West, PK. I don't know what the players' motivation would be. That'd be a pretty big 401k to bring them to the table because it would limit NIL, and the NIL money is getting bigger and bigger.
Oh, I think they can have rules without. You love to talk about the collective bargaining. I take a swig every time you say the collective bargaining agreement, as if people listen to us to learn about the collective bargaining agreement. I think they can have rules. They had rules before, and they decided to throw them away. I think they can have them again. But this idea, what are we teaching young people? Sonny and everybody else, you're there to win games. You don't teach them jack squat. They learn it on their own. What did your parents teach you about,
And they learn it when they quit and leave you hanging during the season to go take another job.
What did your parents teach you about?
Pretty much everything.
Nothing. We all learned it on our own.
And then...
So we can stop with these molders of men. You're there to win games because you can be the great molder of man all you want. And if you go 3-9, you're out the door.
Yep. And you don't even have to go 3-9. You can just have a few bad weeks, and UCLA can run you in September.
What are we teaching these young men?
Win and get paid. That's what they're learning about the system. Win and get paid. On threes, Brett McMurphy has Devin Dampier as the number 2 quarterback in the Big 12. BYU Bear Bachmeier at number 5. Thinks Noah Fafita is the best QB. And on 3, we can get to this coming up later in the show. On 3, picking the Cougs is the favorite. Now the Texas Tech has had their little quarterback problem. You buying it? Or do you even care about that? Just be in the top 2. Because who can pick one game
I
in
think it's
November?
very legitimate that they would be there. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know if it's going to happen, but it's a preseason poll.
Cincinnati's coach says that Texas Tech was talking to Brendan Sorsby during the season. The agent denies the claim. Tampering in college football. That would never happen, PK, except for, the coaches that come on the air here with their name on it and say it happens.
So what?
Yeah.
I think coaches interview
Negotiate.
or have their people talk about other jobs. Why is this even an issue? What law is against tampering? I mean, that's just a made up. Because we don't like it and it's not fair. We somehow created, you can't do that. That's not right.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag Major League Baseball.
The 3-1 pitch. Swung on and creamed. Deep right field. That is long gone. A grand slam by Yaz. And it's 10-5 Braves in the ninth in Pittsburgh.
And that ball is hit to deep left field. Siri going back. It's over his head. It's off the base of the wall. Osuna around third. He scores easily. Wyatt Langford walks off the Angels.
1-2 is drilled. This is out to deep right field, out toward the bullpen, and long gone. Whoa, over the canopy in the visitors' bullpen. An absolute moonshot.
Highlights around Major League Baseball. You heard the Rangers walk off the Angels. The Rangers now a game over 500. They are the only team with a winning record in the AL West. They take over the top spot. Half game up on the Mariners, at least for now. The Boston Red Sox have won 6 in a row, giving up for dead, PK. They're back within 5 games of 500. You got any hope for them, or is this just a little hot streak in the middle of the season?
Oh, man,
Beat the White Sox 2-1.
You always have hope for them. Keep hope alive.
The Cubbies, the Phillies, the Marlins. Sitting in wild card spots now. The Marlins have come charging back a 6-game win streak of their own. Marlins beat the Mariners 8-4. Now 10 games over 500. Looking good. Looking like a playoff team. We're getting to the All-Star weekend. It's time for teams to decide, are they buying or are they selling? A lot of speculation about the Tigers. Do they have a chance or not? They have a soft schedule before the trade deadline. They go get somebody to put alongside Skubal. They move Skubal. You got a feeling for that? A vibe for that? Coin toss for them?
Depends on what the offers are.
Yeah. They are so weak that theoretically they could be in the wild card race here in another week or two. They've had a nice little run of their own here, winning 7 out of 8. We'll see if they can keep it going. Beat the Athletics 4-1. Bees lose to Sacramento 5-3. They're back at it again tonight. You can listen to the game 7:45 on 1280 The Zone. DJ and PK.
Dino crosses it in, knocked away by Mozraoui. Mario heads it back in. Due able to find Mbappe through traffic. Kylian Mbappe! 20 career World Cup goals! Gives France the lead in the quarterfinal.
I think that's why even Bono there recognizes he has no time to get across to it because the shot came off so quickly.
Here they come for more. Dembele!
Highlights as France shuts out Morocco, knocks Morocco out of the tournament in the quarters. France is on to the semis. You hear France's 2 second-half goals there. They move on to face the winner of Spain and Belgium, who will play today in the World Cup quarterfinals, and then a doubleheader on Saturday. Pablo Mastroeni will join us, talk a little World Cup, what he would do to fix that mess that was the USA. We'll talk with him about that, and RSL back in action on Wednesday night. Got a tune-up game. We'll talk with Pablo at 8 o'clock. Jake Scott will be here at 9 o'clock. Jake didn't want Cleveland to re-up Donovan Mitchell. He and PK got into it. I guess he and I will get into it. See if we can talk some sense into Jake. Jake, what are you doing? What are you doing? That needs to be the first question. Remind me. What are you doing? What is trending? Brought to you by Shamrock Plumbing. No job too big or too small. Get the personal touch with Shamrock Plumbing. Coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, we'll also be giving away tickets to see RSL play Burnley. That'll be that tune-up game on America First Field Wednesday night. And in the 9 o'clock hour, we've got a Lush Flag blanket celebrating America's 250th birthday, size to match a standard American flag. Also an exclusive America 250 Miki Couture label created to commemorate the nation's semi-quincentennial celebration. We'll give that away in the 9 o'clock hour. So stuff to win later in the show. The question of the day is coming up next. Stay with us.
Over 2 decades of sports radio dominance in Utah.
My favorite.
This is DJ and PK on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Win Big Wednesday on the KSL Sports Zone with Win Tickets Wednesday. This week, win a family of 4-pack tickets to see Zach Bryan at Rice Eccles Stadium August 7th. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Get your tickets today and listen to the KSL Sports Zone all day Wednesday for your chance to win. DJ and PK, it is time for the question of the morning. AJ Dybantsa looking better than Darryn Peterson in the Summer League game. What did you think? Scott, pretty sure the Wizards were out to stop one guy on the court. They wanted to prove their guy was better. DP still played well.
I don't think he played well. But okay.
Tyson says, well, one guy was 7 of 18 for 27 points, and the other guy was 6 of 18 for 24 points. Pretty equal offensively.
Well, you better take that up with ESPN because right there in their top headlines, number 1, Dybantsa outduels Peterson in Las Vegas debut.
Scored more points, won the game, had fewer turnovers. There you go. Not by a lot, but by enough. He outdueled him.
I do think that Dybantsa doesn't have to rely on a perimeter shot to score, where Peterson does.
Probably true there. Works out because Peterson's a better perimeter shooter. But you're right, because there were a couple times. I mean, Dybantsa had a couple of moves. The one when he drove into the hoop and dropped the ball the way down to his knee and soared under the hoop and flicked it high off the glass, and the whole place erupted and was zooing on. That was pretty slick. But there was another time the Jazz were just packing it in his zone, and he, dribbled, I don't know, it seemed like 20 times trying to get in there and then hit a fadeaway from 13 feet or something.
Right, he can do that. We've seen it.
Yep.
His strides take up 5 feet.
I mean, didn't it look like he just changed jersey? It looked like the exact game that was on display at BYU, especially late in the season when he couldn't throw it out to Saunders for a 3, and the whole defense could collapse, and he could still find a way to score.
Right.
And he averaged 25 points for BYU and led the country, and then he had 27 last night against the same type of defense. Now, he did have a couple of guys who they're in their second summers. They played a year in the NBA. And obviously, Bailey wasn't there, so he did have more guys to throw it to when they were on the court, if you care about that. But, we're breaking down the Summer League game a lot at this point. I think that just at the start especially, Peterson looked tight. I mean, he shot a 3 that wasn't even close early on. He had a turnover, a couple of them immediately. One, he threw a pass to a guy who clearly didn't go where he thought he was going, so it looked like he threw it to nowhere.
Rats.
Yeah.
I think that if you look at the situation, these kids know everything about it, and they know that they're the prime game, and it's ESPN. And they look over, and once you see DB,
it's on.
She can analyze a game like nobody. Look at me. Aren't I something when I say that? Because that's what you get when they all tell us how great she is. What they're really trying to say is, yeah, wow, aren't I something? And so with that in mind, the place was packed, NBA players galore. You're not going to have that here in town because there is not as much acclaim. There are fewer teams, right? And then plus you're going to get in Vegas, you're going to get former players. Paul Pierce sitting underneath the basket. Paul Pierce isn't coming to Salt Lake anytime soon. So you throw all that in there, and everybody, no matter who you are, whether you are a 10-year veteran of the Summer League or you're a 2-week veteran of the Summer League, you want to put your best foot forward. And the reason why everybody was there, the reason why they put that game at the prime time spot in Vegas was because of 2 guys. Your guy, our guy. Our guy, your guy. That's it. So naturally, you're going to come out fired up. And that's going to lead to a little unnatural attention that you don't have in the millions of games that you have played and will play. I mean, all eyes, even in the home debut or say game 10 in the NBA, they're not going to be on Darryn Peterson. They're going to be on Jaren Jackson. They're going to be on Markkanen and so forth, and then whoever they're playing in the 10th game. The other teams, just about every other team has somebody that is worth going to see as long as they play, and who knows if that's going to be the case. But in this situation, nobody is there to see Cody Williams. Nobody. Outside of his brother Jalen. That's it.
His brother is there.
Right?
But the NBA convention, it's essentially a convention. And you're right. They're not there to see Cody.
Nothing against him.
They're there to see the top picks in the draft. Nor do I think all those guys are sitting in the gym all day long watching 4 games in a row. They're coming to see their team play, or they're coming to see the stars. In the case of all the Wizards who are there, obviously they could do both at the same time, all the Jazz guys.
Right, and
there.
they interviewed Trae Young there because he's there. Got to have the subsequent chains around the neck, playing the part, talking about your $200 and whatever million deal, blah, blah, blah. And so, they know. Like, everybody, eyes are on you. So you came out and you didn't play your best game and you were a little off at the start. You had a turnover, a real soft turnover, like the first possession, literally the first possession. And plus, if I'm going to make a name for myself anywhere on this planet in basketball, I'm going to guard the crap out of this guy. I'm going to be up in him as much as I could possibly be. This is an opportunity for me to get a little acclaim myself. And most of these guys who are guarding him, they're not going to be on the team. Not going to be in the league. This is their shot.
And you got 10 fouls to work with, so if you got to get physical and get a foul, so be it.
Let's get physical.
Sing it.
Yeah. So, you got that. I understand that. And I want it to be as tough as possible for him, actually, in the summer. So this was a great thing to have happen. You see it. We used to be able to go and watch the practices in training camp in August for the colleges. Now they everything's shut down, or maybe they let you watch the special teams in the last 5 seconds. Well, they would put guys in the most difficult positions to try to create something to get them ready for the season. And the quarterbacks are always off limits. Well, if a D lineman got within 5 feet, they'd blow the whistle just to tick off the quarterback.
I wasn't down.
Right. They're trying to make them flustered, make them deal with some adversity and some trouble and just some circumstances that you don't get in July in the 7-on-7 or the private individual guys working out. So it's the same thing here. So I wanted to see as tough as can be for him. Now, certainly if he succeeded at the high level, that'd be awesome. But this is all about a growing situation. There is no rookie. Look at that right there. Boom. ESPN, we got the TV on, and who they showing right off the bat.
They got a studio show. They got
2 guys.
Yeah, they got 2 graphics.
It's not 5 guys. It's 2 guys.
Carol, why can't they both just be reported as doing well? Why does it always have to be reported as a competition between 2 guys in a team sport? They were both good.
Because that's why they had that.
Yeah, because that's why.
Dybantsa outduels Peterson.
It is why they had it. And Carol, it's how the 2 guys see it. After the game, even though this is ridiculous, but they interviewed Dybantsa, right? Because he's the leading scorer on the winning team. And they talked to him about going against Peterson. He's like, it's the 4th time we played, and he got me the first 3. This is my first win. There's no standings for that. I think one game was Kansas and BYU. One game was a high school game. I don't know if the other one was a high school game or an AAU.
You said 2 high school. And
it was 2 high school. Okay, I didn't know the 4th game. Yeah. So, and he's keeping track that way. Everyone does. They can't help themselves. I mean, the truth is most of those guys out there are going to be in the G League or overseas playing in Europe.
Well, bless moms. They want everybody to win.
Yeah, okay. Bless you, Carol. PK just blessed you.
Yeah, me. Make sure it's me. So if it's anything
You said blessed.
Hey,
it was very Catholic of you. I could feel the Catholic elementary school there.
But you put it on me, and I stand by it. Moms want everybody to win.
They do. I agree.
I get it. Alex, doesn't your mom want you to win?
She does. She always does. She always
See?
wants to win.
Did you hear about the Scotty G question down in Texas? The one player, he transferred from Marshall to wherever he was going, Houston, I think. Yeah, man, and your dad played at Marshall, and you went to Marshall, and I'm sure he was really happy, and then he must have been really upset when you wanted to leave, at least at first, because that was his school. We are Marshall, blah, 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 blah. What'd your dad say to you when you transferred? He's dead.
Downer. Oops.
Not that Scotty was supposed to know that the guy's father passed. That it would have been
awkward.
Yeah. Yeah. But under the circumstances, it wasn't that awkward. He handled it well. I mean, like, how some out-of-town dude supposed to know that this guy will be the only time ever
that you talk?
What was awkward was a couple of times that we had guys and they were introduced as somebody else.
That's awkward. Yep. That's awkward.
Because there's been a miscommunication. I did have one little awkward thing. There was a receiver or DB from Arizona, and I had the other guy's name on my computer, so I was thinking of him, even though I knew. And I said, so you followed Brennan to Arizona? No, I didn't. And I quickly, yeah, that's right, because I'm looking at the other guy.
Right.
And you're a Phoenix guy, and I knew where you went to high school.
Yeah.
So you didn't follow him. I corrected myself real quick.
Derek says they pressed DP for 94 feet every time he had the ball, and there's no other threat for him to dish it to, so Washington could continue with the double team and aggressive D on him. Also, AJ had most of his points at the stripe, which now are 2 points instead of 1. It's a misrepresentation of my view, and my view is usually worthless anyhow. Smiling, giggling emoji.
I like how already the defense of Darryn Peterson has started. He's our guy, and you can't criticize. Everybody else can make horrible trades and horrible signings with the salary cap, but our people don't. No, they had to do it, and it was a great move. And over here, you're already defending Darryn Peterson at the expense of A.J. Dybantsa. Now, maybe that might be some Ute fans in there, and they don't want to give the Cougar legend. You can't be a legend if you played one season. It's simple as that. You are not a legend if you played one season. It was a transaction. You were here, you're gone. Yeah. Nobody says Arizona Wildcat legend Larry Markkinen. Nobody. Nobody says that.
Another one and done.
Yeah. And that's the way the system requires them to do, so they do it. Look, they're just breaking it down like crazy here. They got the chubby guy on there to talk about that. He's in. They got a picture of San Francisco in the back or New York in the background. So yeah, it was the story for sure. And Peterson had a little more struggle, and they defended him. They defended him more than that. I think they picked him up as soon as he came out of the locker room in the tunnel.
Nice.
So it was like 107 feet.
Love that cliche. Mike says Darryn had an off night, but he's still only 3 points shy of Dybantsa. The way each was defended was massively different. I'm happy with our guy. He's got to work on breaking double teams, though. Well, that's what Summer League is for.
Quote, our guy. I rest my case.
Our guy.
That's awesome that they've already latched onto him, and you're going to defend him now, virtually at any cost.
Josh says, hey, anyone who watched it would agree. If the Wiz didn't take AJ, the Jazz would have had him. If they're number one instead of the Wiz, they're taking him. But I'm excited for DP and Bailey.
Me too.
Sounds like Josh likes both those guys a lot. Eric, they blitzed DP all night. No attempt to even double AJ. Not a big deal. They can't do that in a normal NBA game. I bet they can.
Why would they, though?
Well, what will happen in the NBA game is if he turns it over, they'll have someone else and it won't continue on. Whereas in the Summer League, if he turned it over against a double team, odds were he was going to bring it up the next possession or the one after that. Whereas in the regular season, if this keeps happening, I don't think they'll have him keep bringing it up.
Okay, why would they double team him though? I mean, you corrected the problem. Why would the problem exist in the first place?
Because if the opposing team thinks he's going to turn it over, that's why they double him. They think he'll cough it up.
Yeah, but you can double a big man and he doesn't bring the ball up. Why would you double him at all? You just throw the ball to somebody else, and now you got a numbers advantage.
Well, because they don't think he can throw the ball to somebody else. I mean, if he
can't throw the ball,
if he beats the double team with a pass, they'll stop doubling him.
No, I'm talking about when he gets the ball on the wing and they're already in the set. That's when you're in scoring position.
Right, yeah. And I think that
nobody double teams anybody at half court unless the game is on the line.
If they think he's going to turn it over and he's bringing the ball up, they'll find a way.
Nobody does that, though. In the first quarter, nobody does that. No one does that. In a regular season, there is no – guys will look at the coach and say, what are you talking about? I'm going to be dead here.
It's more when you run the pick and roll between half court and between the top of the key.
When you're likely
trying
to see that
double.
Score, not bring the ball up.
Well, when you're starting the offense 35 feet from the hoop, they will double you.
No, they won't. Not in November and January, and no, they won't. They don't play that hard.
Colin says, if this is a bad night for DP, I'll still take it.
Yeah, I love the defensive, our guy, man.
Ryan, it's a summer league. Take it easy, boys.
We take it as they come, and this is how it came.
Came, right? Brady, they both look pretty equal, honestly. DP had the turnovers, yes, but it's summer league. Who really cares?
Well, then why would you say they look equal if you really care, if you don't care? They care.
David, I agree. AJ had the better game, but it shows you how good DP is because he had a bad game and he nearly matched AJ's stats. But his team didn't win the game. It's all about the W's and the L's. Randy, it's a single game, gentlemen, and I use that term loosely.
Well, hold on loosely.
I feel like you're halfway to some lyrics there.
Oh, yeah, it is a single. They're not playing a best of 7 here.
Thank goodness.
Every game is a single game until the playoffs.
Jesse says bad nights happen. It's all part of the learning process. That's what Summer League is there for. Make some mistakes and learn from them.
Well, it comes down to will A.J. Dybantsa or is he a better player? Now, you can't claim that the Jazz made a bad move because they didn't have the opportunity to get him. It is more on the Wizards because they had an opportunity to get whoever they wanted. Everybody else didn't. Did they make the right move? And then you go from the Jazz perspective, it's not Dybantsa, it's Wilson and Boozer and whomever else you want to put in there. All the handful of guys that were selected afterward that you may have thought. Or when we look back in 5 years, somebody who was a middle or late round pick, why didn't you pick him? You know, have to see how that plays out. So right now, if you're going to compare the two and one guy's better, well, that's the guy that the other team took. So the Jazz, they have no accountability for that. They took their guy. I mean, I think that you have to look at the thing that got me was him saying after the game that he didn't have fun playing in Kansas because he wasn't on the ball. And is he good enough to be on the ball to the level that he wants? Because if he isn't, then he's going to play off the ball, and is he going to take himself out of games and blah, blah, blah. You wonder, when he made that statement, and you can go hear it. Why don't you look to find it too, Alex? We can play it later. When he made that statement, one of the things that came to my mind, I don't feel 100% because I'm not playing the role I want to. So that, and I don't know if that's true, but that's a thought that came into my mind when I heard him say that. And if he would have been playing on the ball, does he sit out the second half against BYU? Does he sit out those two handfuls of other games? Now, maybe he does. And maybe that cramping and all that stuff, that was legitimate and it forced him to get to the sideline and not play. I don't know any of that.
Don't know that it's linked. But even if it's not linked, if it is linked, clearly that's a problem. It's a big old red flag. Even if it's not linked, I mean, the history of the NBA, just the history of the basketball, including your pickup game, the teammate who isn't happy because he doesn't have the ball all the time is a hard teammate to play with. They drag down the energy of the group. They take selfish shots because they feel like it's my turn. I'm not on the ball, so now it is my turn. It messes everything up. You got to have as much fun or be as committed or play as hard or whatever expression you want to use or all of them combined, whether you have the ball some of the time, most of the time, all the time. How much you have the ball, that can totally lead to selfish basketball. And selfish basketball isn't usually fun to watch, and it isn't usually winning basketball. So you need to be having fun whether the ball is in your hands or not. Nobody really wants to come out of a game, but nobody can play 48 minutes games, so you can't pout when you come out. And Alex, if you missed it, he's got it for you right now.
It's been good. I'm back having fun. I wasn't really experiencing that as much as I can because I was off at the time. So just to feel like myself again, being on the ball, that's what comes with it, being double team and different coverages. So keep adjusting.
And right now, after a mere 3 games, in the NBA, I don't think he's good enough to have the ball all the time. 8 turnovers in 2 of the 3 games.
Not good enough.
No, and that's way too many.
Yep.
That doesn't mean that he can't improve by any stretch. And I want, as I said earlier, him to struggle now. I don't really want it to come so easily. I don't want him to get an inflated sense of, boy, this is easier than I thought. No, I want him to think this is hard. And then you work hard to overcome it. So pile up the turnovers now. Pile up the mistakes now.
Yep.
That's what they're there for. And one of the ways to improve is to struggle. They can go hand in hand. Struggle, improve.
And the vast majority of young players go through exactly that. They struggle and then they improve. And he's already been told that because he said in one of his interviews here in Salt Lake before they went down to Vegas, talking to Keontae, before they even played the first Summer League game, those two went to dinner. What'd you talk about? We talked about, adjusting the league. And Keontae said, however hard you think it is, it's 10 times that. So this is part of the 10 times that.
Yeah.
You're going to throw the ball and turnover goes to you, and you're like, but that guy didn't cut where he was supposed to. Yeah, well, welcome to the NBA. It happens, Mm-hmm. You get doubled, and you would have gotten rid of the ball, and you would have gotten stripped, but you didn't throw the ball because you saw your guy wasn't cutting where he was supposed to be.
Or you made the mistake on your own, and wasn't somebody else's fault.
Or you dribble off your foot while you're driving in the hoop, and it goes out of bounds because all of a sudden everything's faster, and you're trying to play at a different pace, and you make a mistake that we didn't see you make when the athletes weren't as good and they weren't as big and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And he's dribbled off his foot in that game in Vegas. He dribbled off his foot up here in Salt Lake. And I bet he's gone through life not dribbling off his own foot very often. But now it's happening. Guys are bigger, faster, more physical. So it's like Keontae said, everything's 10 times harder. And you just got to figure it out.
You are, without question, the marked man. You're not going to be the marked man in the NBA right off the bat. There'll be some acclaim that you will have and some attention.
But they'll be trying to figure out how to match up with Markkanen and Jackson and Keontae.
Yeah. And now it's all about you.
Yeah. And at some point, Ace will walk by you and go, I know, dude, that was me last year. So
yeah, that's great. And keep battling, man. That's really all I want to see. And he's got to make baskets. He made a few baskets. I mean, he missed a few shots, and his shots come and go to an extent. But he made enough of them. I want to see what he's going to do in the face of struggle. That's to me, that's what it's about. Because then, I don't think he'll receive as much attention in the regular season at the start. Maybe year 2, 3, 4, 5, you want him to, because that means he's fulfilled his description of being a big-time player. So get to that point. But for right now, no. But in the summer, yes.
DJ PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Pablo Mastrani, RSL head coach at 8 o'clock. More hoops with Jake Scott at 9 o'clock. DJ and PK, stay with us right here on The Zone.
You're listening to this podcast, so I know you've got a curious mind. Here's a helpful fact you may not know yet. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $900 on average. Pop over to Progressive.com, answer some questions, and you'll get a quick quote with discounts that are easy to come by. In fact, 99% of their auto customers earn at least one discount. Visit Progressive.com and see if you can enjoy a little cash back. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $946 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2024 and May 2025. Potential savings will vary.
Nobody brings you better coverage of the teams you're passionate about than these guys.
Try some more.
This is DJ and PK on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Join Scotty G and the coach today, 10 to 2. They're going to be at Tim Dahle Mazda in Sandy, 10785 South Auto Mall Drive. DJ and PK. PK, there are other stories beyond Darryn Peterson. Hard to believe. One of them, Cody Williams. How much better is he going to get this season? What are the Jazz going to think of him? Because it's clear there's going to be a money crunch coming up. He's making about $6 million. He has an option for next year. They got to decide whether to pick it up or not. It's clear there's a crunch for roster spots. Is he a guy who's going to make a big leap and they want? Is he a guy who's going to make a little leap and probably play somewhere else in the league as they get crunched for money and playing time and all that kind of stuff? Is he a guy who's going to bounce out of the league? I don't know what the main guy to watch in the summer league is Peterson, but I have been watching Cody, and it's summer league, and he's got 2 years of experience, and other guys don't. So it's hard to make much out of this. I'm wondering if you have a feel for it or not, because you can feel the decision coming, but I wonder what they're thinking, and a lot of it may just be TBD. It's just like, well, let's see what he does in November, December, January, and then we'll have a better idea.
Well, I think by the fact that he's playing Summer League tells you that he's down the food chain.
Yeah.
Because Sensabaugh isn't playing, Collier isn't playing, Filipowski isn't playing. So that's three guys right there. And then we know the core six, whether Ace Bailey starts or Peterson starts, if one doesn't put them in at the sixth spot. So that right there, we're at 10 now. And
down the food chain is a good, and you're not going to make $6 million and be down the food chain. They're going to have to, assuming Keontae George follows up on what he did, they're going to have to pay him more, a lot more, way more. I mean, they're going to have to come up with that cash somewhere, and it could be Cody's, some of it.
Cody makes more than George right now.
So when you have to give somebody a $15, $20, $25, $30 million pay raise, whatever it is.
I think that shakes out itself, though. Yeah. I don't think that's anything to worry about.
Do you see it shaking out now? Do you see Cody making a big step forward?
No. Because I don't think as the 10th player, you're going to have the opportunity to make a big step forward. George made a big step forward because the minutes played were there plenty for him to do that. For Williams, no. He could be the greatest player, but he's not going to get 25 minutes a game. It's just not going to happen.
Most games.
Every game.
No, I think some games he will. I think they're going to have so many guys miss games. I mean, I'm just resigned to that.
Okay, I didn't even put the CV Mahula guy in there. And so he's there.
What was his name?
And then you all love the Lion King because he hustles.
Those guys are all...
now we're down to 12. So no, I don't see him most games. Yeah, most games being like 75.
If you can't beat out Svi and Conchar, then you're going to be leaving town.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's a big dilemma. It'll sort itself out. And they sign a Kogi. Now I'm down to 13
guys. Yeah.
There's no way in hell he's going to get 25 minutes a game. And now that you thought about it, you've retracted that. You just haven't said it.
No, I think the odds are he's gone. But
then you ain't getting 25 minutes a game if you're gone.
But there'll be a chance to go out and show you're better.
No.
Oh, no chance. He'll be buried all year. Yeah. Okay.
You want me to just repeat what I said, Alex?
Yeah,
just re-roll what I just said.
We'll put in some of that crowd noise from the hallway, too.
Save some of the...
It sounds more authentic when it's sketchy.
Save the time and my breath, because I'm running out of breath here.
All right.
And then you factor in the backup center. Now we're at 15. Where's he going to get out on the floor?
Well, I don't think it has to do with backup center. I think the other point about Konchar and Svi and Okogie, I think they clearly have him in front of Cody right now. So Cody's got a lot of people to beat out.
Bang, how do you say that guy? They got half the guys on the advanced roster. I don't know. I'm not going to learn their names. Oscar Tshiebwe? I mean, come on. Where's this guy fit in? Kevin Love, if they re-sign him?
I don't think they re-sign Kevin Love.
Hence if? And who's he going to take minutes from?
Somebody who doesn't defend. That'll be when he gets his call at some point during this season.
Josh Okogie? He's Josh Okogie.
that he is. All right, DJ and PK, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll have more on the Jazz with Jake Scott coming up at 9 o'clock. He'll join us and talk NBA contracts and what the heck went wrong in Cleveland in his mind. Pablo Mastroeni, we'll get to that at 9. Pablo Mastroeni, RSL head coach, joins us next. A little World Cup and RSL back in action Wednesday night. Stay with us.
We all have routines. I'm Jabron, and with diabetes, mine was finger sticks. Sometimes I skip them because they hurt. The Freestyle Libre 3CGM changed that. It gives me glucose insights without finger sticks. Learn more at freestylelibre.us.
Finger sticks are required if your glucose alarms and readings do not match symptoms, or when you see check blood glucose symbol for the first 12 hours. The views expressed should not be used for medical diagnosis or treatment as a substitute for professional medical advice. Individual circumstances may vary. For prescription only. Safety info found at freestylelibre.us.